Hi guys, welcome to our channel. My name is Fiza and today I am going to teach acid rain. Well, almost everyone likes rain or rainy season, but if it is acidic in nature, it can cause serious problems. So let's have a look what is acid rain. It is any form of precipitation with acidic components such as sulfuric acid or nitric acid that fall to the ground from the atmosphere, either in the wet or dry forms. It means that it has elevated levels of hydrogen ions or low pH. Precipitation is any liquid or frozen water that forms in the atmosphere and falls back to the earth. It comes in many forms like rain, sleet, and snow. Now the major question is that how acid rain is formed. Basically, acid rain is caused by a chemical reaction that begins when compounds like sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides are released into the air. These acid pollutants are released from different industries by burning the fuels in transport and other power plants. These substances can rise very high into the atmosphere, where they mix and react with water, oxygen, and other chemicals to form more acidic pollutants, known as acid rain. Here you can see that these hydrocarbons, nitrogen oxides and sulfur dioxides, are emitted into the air, where they can travel long and then they combine with water to form nitric acid and sulfuric acid. Sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides dissolve very easily in water and can be carried very far by the wind. As a result, the two compounds can travel long distances where they become the part of the rain, sleet, snow, and fog that we experience on certain days. Then these acids come to the atmosphere either in the dry deposition, that includes gases, or in the wet deposition, that includes acid rain, snow, and fog. Let's talk about the measurement of acid rain. Acidity and alkalinity are measured using a pH scale for which 7 is neutral. It means the lower a substance's pH, that is less than 7, then the more acidic it is. In contrast, the higher a substance's pH, that is greater than 7, it means that more alkaline it is. Normal rain has a pH of about 5.6. It is slightly acidic because carbon dioxide dissolves into it, forming the carbonic acid. However, acid rain usually has a pH between 4.2 and 4.4 due to the increased concentration of sulfuric acid and nitric acid. Now we see the types of acid rain. There are two types of acid rain. The first one is dry deposition and the other is wet deposition. Deposition phenomena is the way in which atmosphere cleans itself. The process is efficient as only a few gases, most notably carbon dioxide, shows signs of global increase in spite of the large emission of pollutants from both natural and man-made sources. Let's talk about the dry deposition. Acidic particles and gases can also deposit from the atmosphere in the absence of moisture as dry deposition. The acidic particles and gases may deposit to surfaces quickly or may react during atmospheric transport to form larger particles that can be harmful to human health. When the accumulated acids are washed off a surface by the next rain, the acidic water flows over and through the ground, which can harm plants, wildlife such as insects and fish. On the other hand, wet deposition is what we most commonly think of as acid rain. The sulfuric and nitric acids formed in the atmosphere fall to the ground mixed with rain, snow, fog, or hail. This form of deposition occurs when any form of precipitation removes acids from the atmosphere and delivers it to the Earth's surface. What are the causes of acid rain? Basically, human activities are the main cause of acid rain. Over the past few decades, humans have released so many different chemicals into the air that have changed the mix of gases in the atmosphere. For example, power plants release the majority of sulfur dioxide and much of the nitrogen oxides when they burn fossil fuels such as coal in order to generate electricity. The burning of fossil fuels by power production companies and industries releases sulfur into the air that combines with oxygen to form sulfur dioxide. In addition, the exhaust from cars, trucks, and buses release nitrogen oxides and sulfur dioxide into the air. These pollutants cause acid rain. From these gases, sulfuric acid and nitric acid can be formed and be dissolved in water vapor in the air. Although acid rain gases may originate in urban areas, they are often carried for hundreds of miles in the atmosphere by winds into the rural areas. That is why forests and lakes in the countryside can be harmed by acid rain that originates in cities. Now let's talk about the effects of acid rain. Acid rain not only puts adverse effects on living things but also on the soil and on non-living things. We will discuss them one by one. So first of all, we will look at its adverse effects on non-living things. Acid rain can damage buildings, historic monuments, and statues, especially those made of rocks such as limestone and marble that contains large amounts of calcium carbonate. Acids in the rain react with the calcium compounds in the stones to create gypsum, which then flakes off. As you can see in this chemical equation, calcium carbonate reacts with sulfuric acid that forms the gypsum, carbon dioxide, and water. The effects of these are commonly seen on old gravestones where acid rain can cause the inscriptions to become completely illegible. Acid rain also increases the corrosion rate of metals, in particular iron, steel, copper, and bronze. Acid rain also increases the corrosion rate of metals, in particular iron, steel, copper, and bronze. In exposed areas of building and statues, we see roughened surfaces, remove of material, and loss of carved details. Stone surface materials may be lost all over or only in spots that are more reactive. We might expect that sheltered areas of the stone buildings and monuments would not be affected by acid precipitation. However, sheltered areas on limestone and marble buildings show blackened crusts that have peeled off in some places, revealing crumbling stone beneath. This black crust is primarily composed of gypsum that is soluble in water, although it can form anywhere on carbonate stone surfaces that are exposed to sulfur dioxide. It is usually washed away. It remains only on the protected surfaces that are not directly washed by the rain. It can also cause paint to peel off. Now just let's see the adverse effects of acid rain on living things. Acid rain can also cause health problems in people, as air pollution like sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides can cause respiratory diseases or can make these diseases worse. Respiratory diseases like asthma or chronic bronchitis make it hard for people to breathe. The pollution that causes acid rain can also create tiny particles. When these particles get into people's lungs, they can cause health problems or can make the existing health conditions worse. Also, nitrogen oxides cause ground-level ozone. This ground-level ozone causes respiratory problems like pneumonia and bronchitis and can even cause permanent lung damage. Furthermore, they can also cause several headaches. The health effects that people have to worry about are not caused by the acid rain, but are caused when people breathe in these tiny particles or ozone. Acid rain damages lakes and streams as well. Without pollution or acid rain, most lakes and streams would have a pH level near 6.5. Acid rain, however, has caused many lakes and streams in the northeast United States and certain other places to have much more lower pH levels. In addition, aluminium that is released into the soil eventually ends up in the lakes and streams. Unfortunately, this increase in acidity and aluminium levels can be deadly to aquatic wildlife including phytoplankton, trouts, smallmouth bass, frogs, spotted salamanders, and fishes. This problem can become much worse during heavy downpours of rain or when the snow begins to melt in the spring. These types of events are known as episodic acidification. In addition to acidification, excess nitrogen inputs from the atmosphere promote increased growth of phytoplankton and other marine plants, which in turn may cause more frequent harmful algal blooms and eutrophication. Well, if we talk about the effects of acid rain on soil, it can be extremely harmful to forests. Acid rain that seeps into the ground can dissolve nutrients such as magnesium and calcium that trees need to be healthy. Acid rain also causes aluminium to be released into the soil, which makes it difficult for trees to take up water. Trees that are located in the mountainous regions at higher elevations are at greater risk because they are exposed to acidic clouds and fog, which contains greater amounts of acid rain. The loss of nutrients make it easier for infections, insects, and cold weather to damage trees and forests. In order to avoid the effects of acid rain, we should try to use the possible alternatives. We could do it by saving energy, as a great way to reduce acid rain is to produce energy without using fossil fuels. Instead, people can use renewable energy sources such as solar and wind power. Renewable energy sources help reduce acid rain because they produce much less pollution. These energy sources can be used to power machinery and produce electricity. In addition, we should try to bring awareness among people by educating them more about the effects of acid rain. Similarly, government should also try to take some important initiatives for the management of acid rain. We could also try to avoid the effects of acid rain by restoring our environment and reducing the consumption level. For example, cars and trucks are the major sources of pollutants that cause acid rain. Therefore, car manufacturers are required to reduce the amount of nitrogen oxides and other pollutants released by new cars. One type of technology used in cars is called a catalytic converter. This piece of equipment has been used for over 20 years to reduce the amount of nitrogen oxides released by cars. Some new cars can also use cleaner fuels such as natural gas. So these are the all ways which we can try to reduce the level of acid rain. That was all. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to press the bell icon and subscribe our channel. Thank you.